Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back to 5.3 Performance Optimization. It's my fun YouTube channel here for dedicated to rebuilding this 5.3. This is an LC9 engine. It came out of a 2010 Suburban, and my plans are to put it into a 2008 Suburban. My Suburban, it's a 2008 that I own, and the engine's getting tired, and that's what I'm rebuilding this for. So basically, gosh, we've come a long way. I think this episode we're somewhere up into the low 20s episode. I forget the exact number here, but anyway, here I am, and you can see how far we've come. Now, I'm in the pre-assembly stage, and if we look, here's the book that I've been using right here. This book right here, fabulous book. The author is very picky about the procedure, and he should be. As engine builders, if we want good performance, we should be picky too. And basically, it's been a little bit of a challenge for me because I just like to go and get it done. But this has been a level of detail oriented that at times is a challenge, but we're getting there. It's a slow process. That's fine. It could be fast, but then I do it haphazardly, and who knows how long the engine will last, and the resources I'm sinking into this to get a little more power out of stock. We want to make sure it's right. So following the book, and the book has a pre-assembly stage, and as you can see here, there's a pre-assembly stage here before final assembly. And let's see, and right now we are getting ready to do the I don't know if you can see it here, but we're getting ready to do the camshaft degreeing. Okay, so that sounds a little complicated, and it kind of is, quite frankly. I got one of these kits for degreeing the cam from Summit Racing, and I'll show that here once I switch to camera, once I start working on it here. But we are at step 24 in chapter 7, which is the pre-assembly, degreeing the camshaft, which is turning the crank and verifying the cam timing. So that'll be interesting. All in all, there are 30, how many steps are there? There's 36 pre-assembly steps, and I'm on step, I think it was 24, did I say? Yeah, 24. So guess what? 2/3 of the way through the pre-assembly. I am excited. I think the next third of it's going to go by pretty quick, I hope. I did have to buy some tools for Amazon. I had to get up. Actually, once I'm done degreeing the cam, then I'm going to put the heads on, and I'm going to check the rod lengths and a whole bunch of other things. But I had to buy some tools. So like an adjustable rod, push rod checker. I'll show you that when I get to that step. So some of these parts, some of these tools, I'm still waiting for them to arrive. So so a few delays here. Otherwise, we're just going to keep plugging away at this, and once I get done with the pre-assembly, then I'll be at final assembly, and that's when it starts to get really exciting. All right. So anyway, there we are, and thanks for following along with me in this journey. All right, so here we have a Summit Racing cam degree kit. So we're going to open this baby up and see what we have got. First of all, we've got some instructions. Parts list. Comes with 2 low tension checking springs. Oh wait, does it come with that, or is that what you'd need? Oh, it looks like it comes with it. Huh. How about that? Because I went and I ordered some. I did not realize that this kit came with low tension checking springs. So that's good. It's got a wire pointer, a TDS stop, an 11-inch degree wheel, 3 adapter bushings, 1 flat washer, 1 magnetic base, 1 dial indicator, 1 carrying case. It looks like I've got a little bit of reading here to do. How about that? I went and bought the springs. I didn't realize this one came with it. I've already got one of these guys here, but could never hurt to have another one, I suppose. So I'm gonna set that magnetic base down there, and it looks like it comes with another dial indicator, which I have one of those, and some miscellaneous parts here. And oh, this is the pointer. Okay, very good. Because my book shows how you can make a pointer from a wire coat hanger. So this looks like this would do the job just as well. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these in the bag. Leave all this stuff here in the bag in this section. And let's go ahead and go to our book. Let me turn the engine around. Proper cam degreeing requires at a minimum your #1 piston and rod be installed in the block, which it is. See it? There it is, Summit Pro LS. 24mm bolt, so I could turn this and see. All right, so we must now determine true top dead center for cylinder #1. This is the industry standard for crankshaft being at 0 degrees. The hardest part of this whole thing is figuring out where on earth is top dead center, okay? Because in my opinion, it's easy to figure out top dead center and then just set this right to 0, okay? And then do your spins to figure out. All right, so let me show you the way. Now, this wasn't written in any book. Nobody said anything on any YouTube videos that I watched. I just kind of played around and figured this out on my own. All right, so finding top dead center for me, this is what worked, okay? So basically the first step is to look at the cam sprocket and look at the marking here for 12 o'clock. You see it there? That's the marking. All right, and then you want to match it up with the marking on the crank sprocket. Oh, let's see if I can zoom in there. See that little dimple right there? Oh, let's see if I can get in there. See that little dimple right there? All right, so you want that and this. Let me zoom out. So you want that little dimple on the crank and this dimple right here to be pointing at 12 o'clock. Now remember, the engine is tilted, right? I tilted the engine so that the cylinders are horizontal to make it easier for this to just travel straight up and down. Okay, so I tilted the engine. So 12 o'clock is actually this way. The top of the engine is right here. All right, it's tilted. So anyway, I got my little dial gauge here, but I needed something to take up this room, so I just went and got a little bolt here and put this underneath. All right. Oop. All right, and I'm not even going to bother zeroing that out. Okay, all I want to see is where on earth it deflects to find top dead center. All right, all I want to see is where it deflects. So let's go ahead. We got this set up. Let's lower it, right? And let's go ahead and raise it up. And now look, the dimples gets us at least close, a starting point. Next, now we're trying to go for a deflection on the gauge. And I'm raising it up. Wait, here, let me show you. I still got a ways to go. Let's get it reasonably close. All right. So look at the dial gauge and we passed up top dead center. Hang on. Let's see here. All right, so can we all agree it's basically right there, and if I go, if I go there, oop, and if I go there, and if I go there. All right. Now, there's a problem, okay? And the problem is that on the cam lobe, it's going to stay at top dead center for a very minute amount of time, okay? And as the crank is turning, just because, as the lobe, the lobe is spinning, it's going to sit there at the lobe for a small amount of time. It's not, the lobe isn't like a pinprick point where it just boom, it hits it for a second and comes down. It's rounded. Okay, so the idea is if you catch it at the very beginning of top dead center, there's like a beginning of top dead center, an end of top dead center, and a middle of top dead center, and the timing is just so minute. Okay, so if you happen to catch it at the beginning of top dead center or at the end of top dead center, then it's going to be your degree. You might be a degree or two off. Okay. Now the book says to basically to measure it, like to do it at the start of top dead center, at the end of top dead center, and I prefer to just kind of eyeball the dial gauge here and just let it kind of try to see if I can figure out, almost like time it. Okay. And then just like see it sits there for a while, and then I'm using my hand here and I'm like basically putting my thumb on the teeth to kind of get a sense for how many teeth is going past. Like, okay, is it one or two teeth while it's just sitting there at zero at its stop? You got to do this probably a bunch of times to get a feel for it, but it's really a matter of feel. And I've got it right there. You probably didn't see that. Let me do it one more time. Right there. Like, in other words, you turn it a little bit and nothing happens. Okay. And if you turn it a little bit more, boom, it starts to move. You don't want to catch it when it starts to move, because then it's the end of top dead center. You want to catch it right in the middle of when nothing's happening. All right. So, which is probably about 1 teeth's worth on the flex plate. All right. So there you go. I found top dead center. And then what I did was I have my little extension here that goes down into the lifter. Okay. And I fabricated this. Remember, I used a straw, literally a drinking straw, wrapped a bunch of tape around it, put an electrician's cap, like a wiring cap on here. And then I put a wall anchor in here and then just lay that right in there as an extension, because I didn't have anything else. And then I just lift this up and then just set it right down in the wall anchor and then make sure it's vertical. And then I zero that out and then go ahead and do my spin to find the 1/2 degree of lift and do all my calculations. So anyway, there's just a quick review of really I think the most important step is setting up top dead center and finding exactly where it's at, like the middle of top dead center, not beginning, not the end, but the middle. And that's because of the rounded nature of the lobe. All right, so there you have it. I've learned a lot in the last couple months, so hopefully this will all pan out when I'm done with it. Okay, all right, so I used my method there to determine, with the dial gauge, to determine top dead center, all right? And I swear I've measured this a bunch of times, and what I have come up with is that actually it's dead on. So there is top dead center right there. Okay. Top dead center. I know you're probably wondering, well, how do I know? I just put it on 0. I measured it already. This is the second time I'm doing this, so I didn't change anything. I used the dial gauge to determine exactly where top dead center was. Okay, that's probably the most accurate way to determine exactly where top dead center is. So anyway, I put the gauge or the degree thing here. I don't know what these things are called. I'm not an expert at this, but I put this at 0. Okay, and now we're gonna watch the dial. If I can get this around here, we're gonna watch the dial drop down as I turn it. All right, and we're gonna look for it to go to a half. And we're getting real close. That's about it right there. All right, now let's see what we got on the, look at that. Look at that. Spot on, 7. All right. Let me stop this. Okay, so here you could see that we're at a half, right? I keep saying a half. I mean, 50 thousandths, okay? And we're 50 thousandths, and if we come down here and look, there it is right there. It's just about 7.5. I mean, in the card says it should open at -7. Okay. So there you have it. So that's pretty close. I'm not going to argue with that. All right, now we need to rotate it, and I'm rotating using the flex plate. We need to take it down, okay, and we need to basically have the lifter rise all the way up and then start to settle back down again, and then measure it. So basically what I do is I let the dial go around and see how many times it passes 50. Okay, and then at some point it's going to stop and head back the other way, right? So let me just go ahead and do it, and then it'll make sense once you see it. Okay, so now, oh, there it goes. So, all right, we passed 50. There's 1 time. There's 2 times. And look, you could see this plunger rising up. There's the lifter coming up. Okay, and then, what happens? Are we going to get a 3rd one? No. So it's at the top. The lifter's at the top. Okay. And now it's going to start heading back the other way. So passing it back the other way 1 time, passing it back the 5-0 the 2nd time, and then we're going to stop it at 5-0. And okay. All right, we're back where we started. Well, actually not back where we started, but we're technically where it closes. Okay, so the number we're looking for is 36. All right, 36. That's what we're looking for. 36. Please be 36. All right. Oh, look at that. Well, by golly. See? 36. Spot on. Spot on. 36. See? There's the 30. And there's the 40. And there's the 35. And there's the 36. All right. So I am very pleased, because what I come up with in this cam to green process right here matches what's on the card. So, whew. Now, I'm going to tell you, it took me, I probably had to do this 10 times, really, before I figured out what in the hell I was doing, okay?